All right, so yesterday we were talking about scatter plots and we were talking about lines of best fit. So a line of best fit is pretty much a line that we're going to use to represent our data. Okay. Now, up here, we have a table that compares the temperature in Celsius to ice cream sales. Kind of think of like the guys at the beach, right? That push, everybody knows the guy I'm talking about with the big wheels that pushes around, sells you ice cream. Kanye, you know that guy? All right. So when we plot these points, all right, this is what we got, right? We get these dots. If you look at the dots, what can you tell me? Make a general conclusion about the data. Andrew? What's that? It's the chapter 4. Yeah, it's pink. 47. There you go. You leave yours at home? It'll be all right. Do you have that calculated before downloading it? So Andrew, let's just look at the data. You can open up, but if we look at the data, all right, on the bottom we have temperature, and going up we have ice cream. So like mine, right? What do you notice about the data? They're all on a line. Very good. Does anybody else notice anything? This counter? Yeah. The hotter it is, the more money you make. Okay, that makes sense, right? So when you're outside and it's cold, like right now, Dairy Queen's not making too much money, right? They make some money because some people want ice cream. Like Dairy Queen puts out a good product. I like the vanilla custard with rainbow jimmies or sprinkles at times. Jimmies is the Delco term. Okay. Are you kidding me right now?
I agree with her.
In what world do we live in right now?
That's how I learned.
No, if you said the sprinkles are like the sugar things, the you know the little crusty sugar that's like green or like red, yeah, that's sprinkles. Jimmies are either they're kind of like the little like hot dog looking things. Yeah, those are jimmies, and you could have rainbow or chocolate. No, I'm taking time out of this lesson to discuss this. We need to educate ourselves on the difference between sprinkles and jimmies. Unreal. Unreal. No, so vanilla with rainbow jimmies. Now, as the temperature increases, the more ice cream I am probably going to sell. Does everybody see this point right here, right? Kind of doesn't seem to fit in line with what Andrew was talking about, right, Andrew? If we like kind of make that line, this point's kind of below the line, right? Do you see what I'm talking about? Now, what could happen that day? Why would we sell less ice cream that day? The temperature could have just gone down, just like yesterday was like 52, and today it's like 28. The temperature just drops at times, right? Also, maybe it rained, right? It could still have a relatively, high temperature, but it could rain, right? And not a lot of people are going to go out and get ice cream in the rain. It's just not something you do, okay? So that's what we got from the points. But now here's the nice thing about having this calculator. All right, so first thing I want us to do is I want us to label the temperature X. Why am I labeling it X? Because it's on my X axis right there. And then this column is going to be Y, because that's on my Y column. So everybody just put that in. Now we need our graphing calculator. Now remember yesterday, we were making those lines by hand. Jack, do you remember making the lines by hand yesterday? Okay. So we are going to get our graphing calculator. And as soon as mine loads up, we're going to put this data in. Okay. Let me clear this off. All right, first thing I need everybody to do, all right, is we are going to just clear out anything in the Y equals button. So I'm just going to clear that out so it doesn't mess with anything. Okay. And then I'm going to go back to the home screen. Now, at the home screen, you're going to have this button called Stat. It's by the arrow button. Does everybody see that button? It says Stat, right? Okay. If we go to Stat and go to Edit and hit Enter, it brings us up to this little table. Is everybody able to get to that table? We all there? Matt, you there? Jack, you doing it? All right. Now, I have stuff in here, so I need to clear this out. Don't delete the column. Just hit clear. So we can go up to the top and I can hit clear and then hit enter and it clears it out. If you hit delete, it deletes the column. It's a pain. Do not hit delete. So I'm just going to clear it out. And now what I'm going to do in L1, this is my X column. So everybody type in all of these points. So we're going to type in 14.2, enter. 16.4, enter. 11.9, enter. All right, so everybody go ahead and type these in. And then once you've entered in all of them, okay, you're going to go over to L2, the second column. Jack, did you type them all in?
Wait, how do you get to that graph thing?
So how do I get to here? Great question. I hit the button stat. Okay. And then it brings me up to this. Do you see this, Emma, where it says edit calc tests?
Yeah.
Now we just hit enter on edit. And we're just going to enter in this first column.
Okay, thank you.
Now, once you've done that in L2, this is our Y column. We're going to type in the second column, but make sure that your numbers match up. So notice 14.2 matches up with 215. So I need to make sure that that still pairs up. So I'm going to enter in all of my information in that second column into the second column. All right, make sure your columns are the same length, okay? Because if they're not, it means you missed one of them. Nate, do you want another book? Okay, you just let me know. All right, just look up when you have it all in. How are you guys doing at home? Pretty good? All good? Andrew, all good? Drew at home, all good?
Yeah.
Sophie, all good?
Yep.
All right. Now we're going to hit the stat button again. So everybody hit the stat button again. And now this time we're going to go over to calc. Okay. Now there's a bunch of different things here, but what have we been studying? We've been studying what? Lines, correct? What was the equation of a line? Hope, what was the equation of a line? Y equals what?
What was the question?
What is the equation of a line? Y equals what?
Oh, y equals mx plus b.
Very good. Now, does everybody see number 4? It says lin reg. Do you guys see that? Lin reg stands for linear regression. But notice it says ax plus b. All right, ax plus b sounds a lot like mx plus b, agreed? So a is m, so we're going to go down to number 4. We're going to hit enter. Now notice it says the x list was L1, that is true. The y list was L2. And then frequency, we don't need that. We don't need store reg equation. We don't need that. And we're just going to go down and hit calculate. And notice up here, all right, I get a bunch of different numbers. Do you guys see that? We all see that? Now, A stands for my slope, which I'm going to write this down. I'm going to write down y equals 31.32 x minus 214.05. Now, what does this mean? This is the equation of our line that fits our model, that line that Andrew was talking about. Okay? Jack, come on, head up, buddy. So this means that pretty much for every degree Celsius that it goes up, I'm going to make about $30. Okay? Now, what is this minus 214? Well, that represents this, Harshan. You have to go to the store, right? You have to buy all that ice cream and put it in that cooler and push it around the beach, correct? Now, somebody has to pay for that, right? That's your starting cost. Meaning that's how much ice cream you have to buy for that day. So if you don't sell anything, you've lost like $214 or not sell anything. If it's like 0 degrees outside, like it's freezing, you're not going to sell any money, right? Now let's see what this looks like. All right. So everybody go to the y equals. We're going to try this. We're going to go up to plot. We're going to hit enter. Okay. And we're going to then hit second y equals, and we have to turn on our stat plot. So number 1 should be on. All right. Then we're going to hit zoom. And one of these should be zoom. Where is it? Zoom stat, number 9. And we're going to hit enter. Was everybody able to get this? So one more time. We go to y equals. We go up to the plot. We turn it on. There. We also have to turn it on here, which was the blue button. And then y equals. We make sure this plot is on. If it's off, like this, okay, I just hit enter on it and I turn it from off to on. So we go, to get to that screen, we go second, y equals, we click enter, All right, we turned on plot 1 in the y equals. So that's why we're dealing with plot 1 here. Make sure that's on. Then we're going to go to zoom down to number 9. Okay. And it plots it. Does everybody see that? Those are our dots, right? Now, Andrew told us it looks like a line, right? We calculated the line, which is over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to y equals, and I'm going to plug in 31.32x minus 214.05. And if I'm lucky, when I hit enter, what do you see? That line of best fit, right? Now, why am I teaching you this? Well, one, this is going to give you a more exact line of best fit. Okay, remember how we were doing it by hand and not everybody drew the same like best fit line? So I showed you how to do it by hand, but now I showed you how to do it on your calculator. So if you're on the SATs or something like that, and you need to like kind of do it quickly, you just enter in all the numbers and then you hit enter. Okay, and then you go through those steps. Do you guys find that helpful? All right, I think it's helpful because I can make a prediction now. All right, so remember how yesterday I asked you to make a prediction about like, I don't know, the age somebody would get married in like 2020. Do you guys remember that yesterday a little bit? Now, if Miss Kender goes, how much ice cream do you think I'll sell when it's like, I don't know, 26 degrees Celsius outside, which I think equates to, let's see, 26 degrees Celsius. So it's, what is that? I think it is, like 100 degrees outside or something like that. I don't know. Could be wrong on that one, but I think it's about 100 degrees. So this kind of, if you wanted to know, we could always go to the table now, and I can scroll through. And if you wanted to know how much money I would make, well, you can see when it's 7 degrees Celsius outside, which is probably like, so think 0 degrees Celsius is like 32 degrees Fahrenheit. So 7 degrees would be like 60 degrees. You know what I'm saying? So you would make like $5. So you can see at like 26 degrees, I could anticipate on making like $600 because it's gonna be real hot. A lot of people are gonna want ice cream. All right,
28.8 degrees Fahrenheit,
is
26,
is it? Oh, well,
if the site is right.
who knows? I always have to create the equation every time I do it because I have to do it in my head. It's okay. It's what the internet's for. All right. Makes sense to you? All right, the app is called Calculate 84. Calculate 84. All right. All right. So let's look down here at the correlation. This is the stuff I asked you guys to do last Thursday. Okay. Mr. Ferry? Mr. Ferry, did you get this stuff done from last Thursday? All right. So here you go. This is going to help you out. All right. When two things are compared, okay, kind of think of like, let's think of studying and your grade on a test, right? The more you study, the higher your grade you can anticipate on your test. Are we in agreement for that? Right? That has a positive correlation. Okay. Now, not always will it be, perfect, right? you could study a whole bunch and you could have a bad test grade. That's called an outlier, okay? But the amount of time you spend studying and your test grade has a positive correlation. Do you guys see how they're going up? Harshan, do you see that? Kanye, do you see that? All right. Now, a negative correlation. A negative correlation would be, now you guys are old enough to remember the start of Fortnite, correct? Now, the amount of time you spend on Fortnite and your grade, right? They kind of went opposite, right? Kanye, did you spend a lot of time on Fortnite? Yeah. Do you spend a lot of time now? What game do you play? What's that? Rocket League. So think about it this way. Kanye, the amount of time you spend on Rocket League, right? What do you think happens to your grade? Goes down, right? Do you guys see the correlation there? Now, sometimes, okay, there is no correlation. No correlation looks like this last one. What would that be? Length of your hair and your grade in my class. Has no bearing on each other, right? Doesn't matter how long your hair is. Your grade could be whatever it is. Does that make sense to you guys? So those are the three types of correlation. Now within them, you can have a strong correlation or a weak correlation. A strong correlation is, going back to what Andrew said, the tighter those points are together in a line, do you see how tight they are? That's going to indicate a strong correlation. The further apart they are, like these, the weaker the correlation. All right? Any questions with that? All right. So here's what I want us to do. All right? I want us to use our calculators to create a line of best fit and to answer this question. So here's what we need to do. We need to kind of create our table. All right. Now, up here, we have temperature, which goes 82, 78, 68, 87, 75, 71, 92, and 84. What should I start at for my temperature? Should I start at 0? And then go from there? Eve, what would you start at?
Start from 68. That is the lowest.
Exactly at 68?
No, bit
A little bit lower, right? Like 65, okay? All right, now, because we're not starting at 0, okay, I have to put a break into my graph. So what we're gonna do, Neve, is we're gonna put 68 right here. And then I'm gonna draw this squiggle that stands for a break in my graph, or not 68, 65, sorry. So we're gonna put 65 right there. Because what we're doing is we are saying, hey, we don't have any data from 0 to 65. So we're not going to talk about it, okay? It's not gone, it's just a break in the graph. And now we have to figure out, my highest one is 92, agreed?
Yeah.
So we probably want to go to what, like 95. So I'm going to put 95 right here. Now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. Ooh, it's gonna be close, right? Which should we count by? Well, if I count by 5s, then I have 27 blocks, right? Aren't I gonna be like way past? All right, well, let's count by 1s and see what happens, right? So 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, right? 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, and that works out perfect, right? because the last one I needed to get to was 92. You getting this in? Well, you're on the wrong page. So you want to turn the page? All right, so we have 92 as our last one. So let me put that in. We're just going to change that 95 to 92. And now we have to figure out, what do we go up by? What is my smallest attendance, Tanya? $1.7. So if 1.7 is my smallest, we're going to do a break again. We're going to put 1.7 right here. And I have to only go up to 5.5. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So I can't really count by ones again, right? So maybe I count by 0.2, right? So 0.2, what? 1.9, 2.1, 2.3, 2.5, 2.7, 2.9, 3.1, 3.3, 3.5, 3.7, 4.1. We're gonna get it. 4.2. Ooh, 4.2 or 3, 4.5, 4.7. That didn't work. No. Any other ideas? This is what math is, trial and error.
By threes.
All right, let's count by threes. 1.7, 2.0, 2.3, 2.6, 2.9, 3.2, 3.5, 3.8, 4.1, 4.4, 4.7, 5, 5.3, 5.6, 5.9. That worked. All right, now we have to label. This is our attendance. Attendees in thousands. And this is temperature. And this is Fahrenheit. Okay. Let's plot our points. So at 68, I'm at 1.7. At 82, let's do it this way. 82, we're at 4.5. So that's going to be 4.4, 4.5. 78, I'm at 4. 87, I'm at 5.5. 75, I'm at 3.8. 71, I'm at 2.9. 92, 4.7. It's a little below that. And '84, I'm at 5.3. Right there. So that's what my data looks like. It's pretty hard to find the line of best fit, right? So what we're going to do, this is literally the last thing. We're going to use our calculators. And I'm going to put this data in, just like we did. So we're going to do stat edit. I'm going to clear out my lists. Jack, let's get this going. All right. So we're going to do the temperature. The top row is my X. That goes in first, 82, 78, 68, 87, 75, 71, 92, and 84. And then I'm going to put in my list 2, the attendance in thousands. So that's going to be 4.5, 4.0, 1.7, 5.5, 3.8, 2.9, 4.7, and the last one is 5.3. And then we can hit graph, or we want to take out the old line. So stat, edit, enter in all of your work. Okay. Then we'll go to zoom 9. All right, kind of looks like what we have. Right? You can kind of see it. Looks very similar, right? Kind of have that like pump right there. But I need that equation. So I'm going to do stat, calc, go down to lin reg. It's number 4. Hit enter. And there we go. So I have my equation, which is y equals 0.14 x minus 6.85. You guys see that? And then if I type that in, we'll be good to go. All right. Now, the one thing I want to make a note of to you, Harshan, do you see these numbers down here? The closer they are to 1, the stronger of a correlation you have. So I can tell you that this is a pretty good strong like correlation because of how close to 1 they are. Are you guys okay with that? You guys sure? All right. So let me end this here.